everyone, good afternoon. My name is Vandana Anchalya and I'm an animal rights activist, as you've seen. And I'm so grateful to Manav Rachna for having me here today because this topic is so close to my heart. I love animals, I love to talk about them. But before I start, I want to know how many of you are animal lovers here or have pet dogs at home. You can just raise your hand. Okay, so that's a lot of kindness and compassion in this room, and that's a good energy for me to start. So, imagine, have you ever taken a decision in your life which seemed like an ordinary decision on that day, but changed your life completely? So, this is what exactly happened with me in 2013 when I was standing in my balcony having my afternoon cup of tea and chilling like any 24-year, 22-year or 23-year-old will be chilling in her balcony. And suddenly I hear this sound of a dog crying. Now again, this is not something which is very odd or unusual, a dog crying or being attacked by someone or even meeting an accident. But somehow that particular incident drew my attention. And I looked downstairs and what I saw was horrifying and it changed my life forever. I saw this frail dog which was trying to just find a shelter in my colony because she was probably being chased away by the dogs. And this gentleman who happens to be my neighbor, he had this big rock in his hand and he was trying to smash her head, like literally trying to kill her. If I would not have screamed and shouted, he would have probably killed the dog. So on that particular day, I had two choices in my life. One was, of course, just to keep quiet, close the door, get on with my normal life and do nothing about it. But I chose to speak up. So I called the police and I told them that, look, there is this neighbor of mine who's trying to kill this dog. And as much as I'm concerned about the dog, I'm also concerned about the fact that he's a violent guy and he's capable of harming other human beings as well because violence is a mental illness, right? And for the first time in my life, I felt so proud of myself because I felt I did something for someone who had no way to repay me or to thank me because I was not going to get any benefit from that dog. And I felt accomplished in my life. On that day, what I did not make sense. Like it was something that I did, anybody else would have done. But now, after 12 years of that incident, when I look back, I do believe it had a lot to do with the fact that how I grew up and how I thought as a kid when I was growing up, because I think 60% of what we are today is how we feel as a kid. So it is very important for you to know about my childhood, how I grew up, what was my thought process when I was growing up. So, I belong to a very typical Jain Marwadi family, very loving, compassionate, kind family who believed in educating us, making us independent women, which I became. But our generation was very different from yours. Like, I'm an 80s kid, we could not speak to our parents about mental health or things like what our fears were, how we felt emotionally. My daughter can speak to me today about anything she wants, but I couldn't. So I used to write a lot. And in all my writings, there was one thing that would keep popping up, that I had this inherent fear that I do not want to die useless. So when I say I do not want to die useless, that did not mean that what if I didn't earn a lot of money or what if I didn't have a lot of fame. But it was more to do with the fact that my existence in this world has to make a difference to someone else. Like I cannot just live for myself. If I'm living today, I have to give back to the world. And this is something that it's not happening because I'm doing animal welfare, but this is how my thought process was from the beginning. But then there was another problem. I'm an 80s kid, as I said. So my thinking was very boxed. Boxed in the sense, I felt, अच्छा करना है तो IAS बन जाओ, आर्मी में चले जाओ, डॉक्टर बन जाओ. Animal welfare, तो I never even thought that it's on the card. So obviously my career choices were narrowed down to these 3-4 professions. And obviously I went ahead and gave UPSC exams. And I attempted twice and I failed twice. So once I failed the UPSC exam, my dream of doing this good to the society came to an end because I thought, अब तो मैं कुछ अच्छा कर ही नहीं सकती, so I'll live a very normal life like everybody else would do. But what happened on that day in 2013 showed me something very profound. It showed me that doing good does not require any title, any position. You do not need anybody's permission to serve or to be human to other person. Any of us, like any ordinary person, can be an extraordinary person just by the virtue of making that one choice. I made that one choice that day by saving that dog. And despite all the hardship that I faced in my life, starting from my father's demise in 2007 in a terrible, terrible Blue Line bus accident in Delhi, to not having a fancy degree, not going to a regular college, but I still made a very good corporate career for myself. I was earning six-figure salary before I decided to quit it all to just do Kannan animal welfare full time, because that was my calling. And that's what made me very happy. So if on that day in 2013 I would have thought, एक कुत्ता बचाने से क्या ही हो जाएगा, then I would not have made this far. So next year we'll be 11 years old. We have made 2 beautiful sanctuaries for dogs and other animals. We have saved more than 5,000 animals in the last 10 years. We have rehomed more than 250 dogs overseas. And we've built this beautiful team of 30-35 people who work day and day out just to save animals, despite all the hardship that we face. And you know, there are days when it feels like you don't want to do this because compassion fatigue is real. People who are in such fields really, really get tired of just taking other people's stress and pain. But you know what keeps me going? Because I know someone somewhere out there is alive because of the effort that my team has made, and that makes me feel extremely proud, and I can sleep in peace. So to everyone today sitting here, I'm sure you have big dreams. Some of you will go and achieve it, but some of you may not be able to achieve it, and you know, you will feel lost like I did. I could not become an IAS officer at that point in time in my life. But let me tell you, failure is not the end. Failure sometimes is a redirection to something bigger and better that's written for you. So for me, success is not material. Success sometimes is just being able to do what you want to do and what you love. Success sometimes is getting that peace when you're making a difference in someone's life. You know why a lot of us cannot escape the ordinary? Because of the fear. We fear failure, we fear expectation, we fear that we will be judged. And the biggest fear, alone I can't make a difference. But let me tell you, extraordinary does not require you to build an empire. It does not require you to have like thousands of accolades under your name. What it requires you is to speak up. Ordinary will always tell you, look away. It will always tell you, someone else will step in and do it. But the day you choose to act is the day you become extraordinary. So the day I chose to help that dog in need is the day I become extraordinary. And I do not have a very long speech, but before I conclude, I just want to tell you all that ordinary is safe, extraordinary is courage. So please be courageous enough to choose what you love. I wish you all the best. Thank you so much for having me here today.